Wagwan sports fans, welcome back to another live. I'm Jomar and Rush will be joining us very shortly. And this is the Sir Sports TV to get the place. You guys come to get the best, most interesting and everything sports topics, discussions, debates, analysis, reviews, lives, features, so on and so forth on the internet. And yeah, people, obviously we're here to talk to you guys. Me kind of reluctantly because me just not really in the mood for chat to nobody, but we have to do what we have to do and the people them want to hear our opinion. I got add rush to the scene and make him finish do that little whole intro, like get into the video type situation, cause that's a film spiel. Yo my boss. Alright, so you look like Rush have some technical difficulties. So until him figure out himself. Oh, you there, bro? Yo, sir. Man, I see Rush, but me not hear him.
Come and mute, my God.
Bro, the live start and introduce long time, I do me a the year part of you say yes, 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 so people, blah, blah, blah. That part them reach right now. You get me? I say, oh, wait, the delayed? You hear me, bro? So, yeah, people, we have some technical difficulties, but we're here real quick for just talk about the match, obviously. Both matches, the match at Stadium and the match in St. Louis, where in two games we conceded 5 goals. We managed to score 2 goals, but they're consolation at the very least. And we are out of the Nations League, not managing to do what we were able to do almost exactly 1 year ago. Um, and we're gonna just talk about it. I'm not sure how rush internet situation I go line up. But me I go there to talk to, express my views, express some opinions that I would have had from the first game and talk about the second game. So people considering say Russia have technical issues, we need to ensure for stay interactive, stay in the comments, keep the banter going between me and you guys. So firstly, me gonna talk about the match at Stadium, Jamaica versus USA in the office, over 20,000 people, as full as I've seen the stadium since I was a young boy. Now I'm a grown man. And it was exciting. I was following the media group, and we get all type of memos say, "Yo, tickets almost sold out, so get your tickets." And in my head, me I say, "Yo, first of all, I lie them a tell. The ticket them not really sell out. Nothing no go so." And me make sure get the ticket them I forget, obviously. But deep down me I question them, me I say, "Yo, are these tickets really sold out?" Anyways, going at the game, the whole heap of people were excited, ready to see how this football game may pan out. And the match started at the stadium, we start flat. You get me? I say USA were all over us in the first like 5 minutes. We just never there communicate. McLaren start with three at the back, which I was extremely disappointed with. Like, I'm not sure why him decided to go with three at the back. And also him use Amari Bell, who is a left back. Obviously, he can play the left side as centre back because he does it domestically. But he's a left back for all intents and purposes. And we do have central defenders on our team. The likes of quote unquote Richard King, Deshane Bernard. And he opted to go with a left wing back in the centre back position. So that was curious for me. And I think that decision to start with three at the back is what costed us that game at the National Stadium. Obviously, Jamaica kind of turned it on a bit. We came alive. as the half ensued. We got a penalty. The Margaret missed it. Now, first, let's talk about the penalty and my thoughts on the kicking situation. Because if Rush isn't able to join, people just have to go through briefly. Obviously, take a couple of the comments, interact with them a little bit. All right, three at the back. You have to be mobile and agile. Yeah, and also three at the back. You have to it's a system where you have to practice. It's a system where you have to work week in and week out. In '98, obviously, that was the year I was born. So obviously, this is a hearsay. I never get to see it myself. But in '98, we used a back three. But it was a case where we had players, playing this system, playing a lot of friendlies, playing a lot of practice matches. Simo is doing exactly that. This was what he wanted to do. However, when McLaren came into the squad, the first thing when him decided to go with was obviously we know with two twin towers, as I like to refer to them as, Pinnock with the left foot, Damien Lowe with the right foot, and that's our centre back pairing. And I think we work efficiently with the two at the back. So starting with a back three out of the blue is kind of an odd decision. Anyways, and as I said, I think that was what costed us early. We got back on top of it though, in a sense, and we started playing better. We started looking more comfortable. We got a penalty. And my opinion on the penalty kicking situation, Bobby Reed is our designated penalty kicker, right? Obviously, I think the Margaret has scored a penalty for the national team already, but for all intents and purposes, Bobby Reed is the guy who kicks the penalty for us, and then Michael Antonio. I'm of the belief that if you're without your designated penalty kicker, and I guess beat me in the comments if you don't want, I'm of the belief that if you're without your designated penalty kicker, then your number nine steps up and kicks the penalty. Shamar Nicholson had scored some penalties for Jamaica in the past, and he's a competent penalty kicker. He won the penalty. I personally would have opted for Shamar Nicholson, but then again, this is a moot point because had the Margaret score, I would have celebrated and say, yeah, man, I know say him should have kicked it. So I'm not even gonna harp on that too long, but in my heart of hearts, I personally felt like Shamar Nicholson should have been the one to kick the penalty. Anyways, the match go on, and you know we never look as competent playing with three at the back. I don't think two central midfielders was the play. Casey Palmer and Latiboy, they never there playing no ball. But at the same time, they will play against one of, if not the best midfielders in CONCACAF, who were using a midfield three, who do have, in my opinion, the best player in the Confederation. So that was causing a lot of problems to Latiboy and Casey Palmer. And also, a next thing that I want to say, McLaren, if you're watching, if you're going to use three centre backs, you cannot also be using three forwards. And that's also another mistake that I think was made. So fine, he made the decision to go ahead and use three at the back. I think you'd have had to you'd have still had to have three people in the midfield and only use two forwards. So it would have to be either a five, um, no. It can be 5-2-3. So it would have to be a 5-3-2 type of situation where you have two holding midfielders and like one creative midfielder, and you have two forwards, or you play a false nine type situation and have two wide players, whatever the case might be. But you need three people in the middle of the park, especially playing against a USA team with creative players. McKenna and Christian Pulisic are two of the creative elements in the region. And I think that was a mistake and it costed us. Anyways, we came out in the second half. We brought in Isaac Hayden, who did have a very good game in the second half, in my opinion. Probably not very good, but he definitely was an element of change for the national team. He came on and he put one more body in midfield. It gave America more grief in the midfield. It didn't have as much dominance. And he also aided us progressing the ball forward, more so than Latimer Dare and Casey Palmer was. So I think injecting Isaac Hayden when he did was, I'm not going to say a stroke of genius because anybody who have any semblance of sense would have made that substitution. But Latibo there was brought in, and not Latibo there, Isaac Kane was brought in, and the game looked different. Tariq McGee was brought in later in the game. You know, he came in, he made what can I say about Tariq McGee? He definitely changed the game, and he had a good game at National Stadium. But I definitely have some points to make regarding Tariq McGee that are going to be very, very unpopular. I saved them to till right now to make those points. But those points on Tariq McGee are going to be very, 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 very unpopular. But yeah, so Cephas came on. Cephas ran at defenders as he does. Cephas is very pacey. I like Cephas' aggression. However, he really, 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 really needs to be a better finisher at this point. Cephas creates way too many opportunities to not score, to not be scoring way more goals. And that's a problem. And the elephant in the room, Leon Bailey, after 1 year not playing, came back into the squad. And can I say he was a bit disappointing? Um, Leon Bailey has all the talent in the world, one of, if not the most talented player in the region. But for some reason, when he plays for the national team, he's a bit too passive for my liking. So people are saying that he had the worst performance since Edu from America. That's not the case. Liam Bailey is not as awful as people are making him out to be. I think that's a gross misrepresentation of what he is and what he has been for the national team. It's unfair, but then again, he's been held to a higher standard, as he should be. My gripe with Leon Bailey is not that he isn't running into space, not that he isn't creating chances, but my thing is he's too passive. When Demar Gray get a hold of the ball and Demar Gray cut in, him always a look for score goals, him always a look for be aggressive, get on the score sheet. And I think Leon Bailey, which I guess you can't blame somebody for, is trying to be too much of a team player. And as such, he's always trying to make that extra pass. He's always trying to, to, to get everybody else involved. But right now, I want to see a selfish Leon Bailey. I want to see a Leon Bailey that needs to be taking at least 6 to 7 shots per game. I want to see a Leon Bailey that, getting off shots from 30 yards, cutting in, kicking from, bad goal scoring angles. I want to see Leon Bailey trying to do more with what he has as compared to trying to get everybody involved. I understand that getting your teammates involved is a part of leadership, but more as Leon Bailey be more aggressive. But has Leon Bailey been as awful as people have been making him out to be? Not the case. Does Leon Bailey deserve a drop? No. Is Kaim Dixon better than Leon Bailey, or will Whisper come and take Leon Bailey's spot, or Norman Campbell for play over Leon Bailey? Dwayne Atkinson for a team over Leon Bailey? Come on. What are we doing, people? Leon Bailey still was one of the only players um, who ran at space, because in the national stadium he was running at the space all game long, especially in the second half. He was pushing the ball up the field. He was getting into dangerous positions. But when cutting in, he always tried to make that extra pass. And that's my only gripe with him. If Leon Bailey, if Leon Bailey has the same aggression, the same mentality, but decides to kick more often, decides to try and shoot more, I think that Leon Bailey will be the guy that we need Leon Bailey to be. I don't think he's as bad as people have made him out to be. I'm gonna try to get Rashid on the conversation. Yo, my boss, you there? Check your mic mute. Your mic mute.
Connection bogus, dog.
Yeah, your connection.
Me I hear you now, man. My connection bogus. You know what I mean?
Me there, carry the weight still. You can text some now still. Me there talk about basically I run through the match at stadium real quick, and me I talk about McLaren. Me trying to focus. He make a mistake by starting with three at the back. First of all, me I say three at the back of something we take whole heap of practice. Also, if you're gonna start three at the back, it can't be 3-2-3. It can't be 5-2-3. It has to be three in the middle of the park, especially when you play against a midfield like America. So I think those are two questionable decisions that I just not agree with. I think it costs. What do you think about the formation starting with five at the back and two in the midfield?
I watch me, I tell you the truth. You hear me?
Yeah, may I hear you? Jaja. Yeah. People and it sound like same him they go talk while ago still no. Ah boy. Um Russia fight to the connection which part him there right now. Bro, wherever you're there in the world, fam, you need to move, brother. God, it a kill we, bro. It a kill we. Killing me, man. Anyways, so yeah, Leon Bailey, we not give Leon Bailey a whole heap of grief. Yes, he's not been what we want him to be, but I don't believe that he's been as bad as everybody else is making him out to be. That's my opinion. And next point of contention, Tarek McGee came on, and Tarek McGee had a relatively good game, and everybody was making Tarek McGee out to be the second coming of Jesus Christ. And I think it was a gross misrepresentation of how good Tariq McGee was on the day and a gross misrepresentation of how good Tariq McGee is, period. Tariq McGee came on and he was getting himself into space, and he was making good forward passes, and he was making good touches, holding up the ball and getting forward, which is exactly what he came on to do. So good on him. But Tariq McGee clearly was not in the scouting report. Tariq McGee clearly had way more space than any midfielder should have in any CONCACAF game. And he got the space, he got the opportunity, and he did what he was supposed to do with it in the time that he was given. After the game, it was, some this or that Sports TV fans, would have spoken to me. And when them see this, them probably not gonna be fans anymore. And they must say, yo, Tariq McGee come on and him change the game, and Tariq McGee for start, and Tariq McGee this, that, and the third. And I'm saying Tarek McGee is the type of player that we have on our team, and he should be on the team, rightfully so, that comes in and provides an impact. I think Tarek McGee has the ability to play in spurts, to get on the field, sorry, where he's not game planned for, get in spaces, create a few chances, hold up the ball and push the ball forward. But Tarek McGee is not the player that everybody else is making him out to be, the guy that needs to start and needs to play 90 minutes and is going to be the savior for this national team. I fervently disagree with that. And it was on full display in the second leg of the tie, where he did get the start against USA, which I anticipated. Tarek McGee comes in and Tarek McGee does a shift, but I don't think Tarek McGee is the permanent solution for this national team, for this midfield. Tarek McGee is a player that he doesn't necessarily work very hard, on defense. He doesn't understand defense positionally. Um, and that's fine if you are a Mesut Ozil, or a Luka Modric or a Lionel Messi, where the work that the value that you provide offensively is offset by the deficit that you are defensively. Because let's say a guy like Messi, who for all intents and purposes, when you play a match with Messi at 36 years old, you practically start 1-0 up. And if Jamaica had anybody like that, where you go up on the field and you start 1-0 up, then by all means, you don't have to track, you don't have to tackle, you don't have to be good defensively or good positionally on defense. But Tarek McGee is not that person. He's not somebody who's going to get out and score many goals. He's not somebody who's going to get out and get a lot of assists, especially when he's playing for the national team and even when he's playing in the USL. So for people to be saying that Tarek McGee is the solution to our problems and Tarek McGee should have started and Tarek McGee is playing 90 and Tarek McGee had this, that, and the third, I just believe that this is a bit hyperbolic, and it has been proven. When Tarek McGee comes on, he has a good game, then he starts. He's crowded out in the middle of the park. He doesn't create spaces quick enough. He doesn't get out of tight spaces fast enough in order to make plays. And it was on full display when he started against USA, and he was just crowded out of the game completely, being forced off at half time, if I'm not mistaken. So that's my 2 cents on that. I know some I get enough beaten at the comments, but so be it. We got plenty of opportunities. As I said, Leon Bailey would have ran at people, just kept losing it, not being aggressive enough. And I think when Leon Bailey starts to become aggressive and starts to, emulate Christian Pulisic, who just comes in and, for all intents and purposes, just takes the game up in his hand, and he's like, I am that guy. I'm Captain America, and I'm going to go forth and make something happen. And he does that almost every single time he puts on a USMN t-shirt. And that's the energy that we need from Leon Bailey. Um, right on what exactly, Leon Mitchell? What exactly am I right on? Please enlighten me. So that was the first leg in the national stadium. As I say, my takeaway is shouldn't have started with a back three. Even if we're gonna start with a back three, cannot be two people in midfield. Tarek McGee came on and had a good game, but Tarek McGee did what Tarek McGee does, and I think the expectations that we have of Tarek McGee is too high. Leon Bailey, disappointing, but not as bad as everybody is making it out to be. Ronaldo Cephas, that's our impact player. He needs to work on his finishing. Demar Gray, another anonymous game in the national stadium. Then we flew to St. Louis, 1-0 down, wanting to repeat history because we did it last year against Canada. But let's face it, I was not optimistic. And then when America dropped the starting lineup, and then you realize, oh shoot, Timothy Weah did not play in the national stadium. And when I saw Tim Weah in the starting lineup, I was like, this is a hard day. Something that I realized, people, something that I realized, people, when looking at people that say Maggie need to be the man for the national team. And may I say, Maggie's just not that guy. He just isn't, unfortunately. As much as I'd love him to be. All right, so going into the game, a lot of people were saying, the reggae boys, them what this, that, and the third. You have to take into consideration that three of our Premier League players that we have, Ethan Pinnock, Bobby Reed, Mikel Antonio, in the three positions on the field, one defender, one midfielder, and one forward, were all absent in today's game, right? So we went into USA without three of our four Premier League players. Think about that. One as a defender, one as a midfielder, and one as a forward against a mighty USA team. And when the USA starting lineup drop, I look on it and me I say, yo, you live.
Free me, free me,
All
free me,
right,
free me, free me.
him live.
I actually don't know if I'm live, but boy, my connection is a move bogus, bro. I'm just there now. Anyways, I'll be a foolish I chat to the dog.
All right, so talk the foolish to me.
First of all, Liam, we kind of have a people, we're not gonna pretend, we kind of have a little small discussion already. How we play ball Saturday, we talk about the game a little bit. We differ upon a few things. I personally feel like Liam Bailey had a subpar game. I feel like Liam Bailey got in good positions, yes, but every time he got the ball, a bit like Ronaldo Cephas too. He made bad decisions. Ronaldo Cephas got into the box and his bad decisions were whether he should shoot the ball, whether he should pass the ball. Liam Bailey's bad decision was trying to take on people too many times when there was an available pass, coming into the field when there was a lot of space on the wing when he should not take on the man them. If you realize Liam Bailey is left footed, I will know that. He always want to cut in and get the shot off. But it's to the point now where he's just not getting down the wing and whipping in a cross, bro. When last Liam Bailey whipping a cross with him right foot? Think about it. And that is what I'm talking about. If him try it, I could get black. And that is something I think America did pick up in the first game. No, if he's not trying to cut in and lose the ball, he's trying to dribble. The ball I get fumbled upon them foot, him a drop him. So I believe that Liam Bailey had a subpar game, maybe average, maybe okay game, but this was not good. It's the same old Liam Bailey,
It's a
same old Liam Bailey,
it's a
same old Liam Bailey.
it's a stadium.
Say that again.
Yeah, this a national stadium I talk about.
Yeah, national stadium I talk about.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
don't get me wrong, the game in the Missouri was more of the same. It was more of the same, bro. It was just taking up the ball. Some people that say I try too hard. We be not say that, but I feel like it's just time Liam Bailey pick him spots a bit better and maybe use a bit more of his arsenal when he's playing in CONCACAF, bro. Liam Bailey just doesn't want to go down the line. Him just don't want to go down the line. Him dribble and you know that he's going to cut in. Just think about it. He's going to cut in. Even if him cross the ball, he will cut it on the left foot and whip the ball, and it will show how one sided he is. I think Liam Bailey is way more ambidextrous than Demar Gray and Ronaldo Cephas. But I feel like he's not showing any of that, bro. Him not show him no one got the line. Him don't want to take the man them to the line. And I feel like that is hurting his game and making him look way poorer than he's actually supposed to look. Liam Bailey a talented baller, bro, but why would not see that? Him approach the game probably a little bit off. The other thing I disagree with upon is the Tariq McGee take. Feel like Tariq McGee came on. Tariq McGee had a above average performance. I feel like he got on the ball, and when we were going forward for the most part, he was a part of all of the attacks that we were going forward with. Before Tariq McGee came on, bro, the attacks were few and far between. And whenever he was on the ball, it just seemed like something good was going to come of it.
So essentially, as most of people bear with we and Rush's connection. It kinda off. Essentially, you must say yo, him believes that Tarek McGee did have a really good game, which me not disagree. Me never say Tarek McGee never have a good game. But the point that I am trying to make is Tarek McGee is what Tarek McGee is. Tarek McGee is worth 30 minutes of coming on, being an impact player, if he's allowed space. And if he's not allowed space in a game, or if he's playing a game with a crowded midfield, then him just not gonna have that much of an impact on the football game. But yeah, people, while Rush try reconnect, me I gonna make the point I'm gonna try make when me did see the starting lineup them in America. Me see, remember we're missing three of our four Premier League players. And then we see American starting lineup. You see Matt Turner, Nottingham Forest, Mark McKenzie, KRC Genk. And by the way, Mark McKenzie not gonna be at Genk for much longer. I've been so impressed with Mark McKenzie. That's just a side note. Robinson, Fulham, Musa, AC Milan, McKennie, Juventus, Pepe, PSV, Pulisic, AC Milan, Tim Ream, Fulham, Tim Weah, Juventus, and Joe Scally, Borussia Mönchengladbach. And then you compare it to a Jamaica team now, and mega go for the clubs. Mega go for the clubs at our national team now. And you compare Andre Blake, Philadelphia Union, Amara Bell, Luton Town, Deshane Bernard, Sheffield Wednesday, Leon Bailey, Aston Villa. That's the only comparable club. And then Demar Gray, Al Ettifaq, Shamar Nicholson, Spartak Moscow, Evan Gray, NYC, Isaac Hayden, them send Newcastle United, but really and truly Newcastle under 23s, Lati Bodere, Coventry, Damian Lowe, even I try to pronounce that club there, and then Tarek McGee, Colorado Switchbacks in the USL. And when you hear that disparity, people, what really are your expectations? That's a curious question that I want to ask. Because this USA team, in terms of manpower, especially in that starting 11, is comparable with almost every single other country in the world of football, barring probably 8 nations or even less than that. This USA team has this ridiculous assortment of talent and is supposed to dominate a national team like Jamaica without three of our own Premier League footballers. So, what is it exactly that you people are expecting? That's a question that I'd like to ask. But yeah, so they came out, and with all the wealth of talent that they had, adding a Timothy Weah, it was just a bit overwhelming for us. And they stepped on our necks from early. Christian Pulisic did what Christian Pulisic does, and he was aggressive, and he ended up winning the game for America from before the first half was even concluded. Jamaica didn't really start to play football until the second half. Some changes were made. Um, Cephas was introduced again. Tarek McGee was removed. Isaac Hayden was pushed forward. They had Deshane Bernard in the they pushed Deshane Bernard higher. Richard King came on. Richard King had a very good game. All right, somebody said Maggie a general. It's the forwards who are not running into the right channels and are making his passes look wayward. Um, Andrew Young, me not even talk about him passes being wayward. I'm just talking about how absent he was in a game where the midfield is crowded and he's actually game planned for. In a game where he started, he is going to look out of sorts because he's just not at that level. He just doesn't have the quality to compete with these midfielders. You get me? And for people to be saying that Tarek McGee is the answer, I just fervently disagree. Tarek McGee can come on in spurts and give us 25 minutes of decent football, like we saw at the National Stadium. So what Rush did I try to say is that me and say Tarek McGee was woeful at the stadium. I wasn't saying that. He came on and he gave us 25 minutes of good football. But Tarek McGee is not the answer to the questions that we have been asking. Anyways, we came on, and what I saw that was very interesting that I really like, because DeMargre has been so bad for the past 12 to 15 games playing down the left hand side. He started to play through the middle of the park. And for the 20 minutes that we saw him playing as a number 9, it looked good. It looked really good. And it started to make me wonder, is there a world where we have Demar Gray, Leon Bailey, and Ronaldo Cephas up top, and we just don't go with any true number 9s? Because he moved in the middle of the park and he scored 2 goals, and it's just two really like number 9 type goals. Isaac Hayden pushing forward into the attack, getting a square on, and then Margaret taking it perfectly. And then the second goal, a real goal poacher's goal, where he just poached on a rebound and put it away confidently. And I liked what I saw from the Margaret through the middle. And it was the first time liking what I've seen from the Margaret in about over a year. In over a year, that's the first time I've liked what I've seen from Demar Gray. So I think that's one point of emphasis. That's one lesson learned. That's an alternative that we can take on in the future. Trying Demar Gray up front. As Rush said, Leon Bailey again in this game just looking even worse than he looked at the National Stadium, which is crazy because the playing surface was better, so you expected to see a better performance. And I don't know how it is that you come and you get a good feel and you look even worse than you did in the National Stadium. So that was very concerning, very worrying, very disappointing, because you were hoping that Leon Bailey would come out and redeem himself from, I would say, a very average game in the National Stadium, and that didn't happen. I still just think it's a psychological thing. I still think he's trying too much to get everybody else involved, and he's not, playing to his strengths. And also, him just don't look super comfortable on the field or as comfortable on the ball as I'm used to seeing Leon Bailey. So, my hope that him integrated more with the team come March, and we can see a bit better from Leon Bailey. So as I said, standouts in the game, obviously Demar Gray for 15 minutes while he was playing number 9, but he was woeful for every other single minute of the game, playing down the left hand side. Ronaldo Cephas, I just love his aggression, just love his intent. And Ronaldo Cephas will have a spot on this team for a long time to come. Um, Richard King, he made a cameo appearance, and be good game, Richard King. He showed that he's competent. He showed that he can play football at a very high level against people playing at a very high level. Obviously, I'd have to see more before saying, "Hey, Richard King is the guy. Richard King is the guy for that position." Me personally, I'm a fervent believer in get your contract overseas and then start take you seriously for the national team. But I'm sure we'll see more Richard King based on this performance. And Tavon Gray. Apparently, Tavon Gray is an outstanding player in the MLS. I don't watch much MLS football, so I can't speak on it. But when he plays for the national team, he leaves a lot to be desired. And he never ceases to disappoint me when he gets his chance at right back. And I think one thing that we learned in this USA game was that Lembikisa is really and truly or right back for the future. Um, I'm gonna know if Rush is back again for one last soliloquy, because people, this talking thing about myself, I'm all talked out. Um, but going forward, March window, we have playoffs. We are gonna play one of either Mexico, I think. I'm not sure. Let me see how the Mexico game pan out. So one of either. So the Mexico game is currently 0-0. So one of either Mexico, Suriname, or Costa Rica. May not even know which opposition would I want. Obviously, you would prefer Suriname, but let us see how that cookie crumbles. And we have to beat those teams over two legs for qualify for the Gold Cup. We should have never been in this position, because we draw with Cuba in the national stadium. And had we not drawn with Cuba, we'd have ended up against Panama. And things just look a whole heap different, people. So I'm still very disappointed about that. But what are some key points we can look forward to in a March? Well, hopefully we can get back all our Premier League ball of them. Hopefully everybody can be in a good form. Hopefully we can get back Leon Bailey in a good form. Hopefully Leon Bailey can finally translate some of the English football there. Somebody says Speed and Butler just need to coach a team and done. Wouldn't that be a dream team if the two of them could have just worked together? It would have improved Jamaica football so much if both those men could have just worked together. But looking forward, in March, we want to get back all our Premier League players, and we're not gonna get a team as good as the US. So we definitely should see more of a McLaren footprint on this game. Curious to see if Isaac Hayden can get a club in a January. There's just so much. Michael Hector wants him to play some football. We never see Ravel Marston. We want to see where Ravel Marston get up to. Will Ravel Marston be a part of the next window? There's so much to look forward to. The only positive one of the positives we can also take from this USA game is we get a next match at stadium. So that's exciting. We can look forward to that. We wouldn't have gotten another match at the stadium in March if we did qualify for the Nations League. But um, that are kind of my rundown. That are kind of my little tidbits and my analysis on these two games. I wasn't expecting much, considering that this USA team is not only the best team in CONCACAF, but has one of the best assortment of players in the world. And I think they can only be bested by 8 players in terms of on paper. And they have lofty expectations. And it wasn't very, very hard for them to just brush aside this Jamaica team. I think McLaren made a few mistakes, but this was the first time me I see him blunder. So we will and come again to see how exactly him adjusts and what exactly we can look forward to. I'm curious to see players getting clubs, players like Whisper possibly coming back and playing football again. So March is a long way away. And there's a lot to hope for, there's a lot to happen. Whenever we find out who we're gonna play, people, obviously we're gonna do a live and try to talk about that. But as it stands right now, people, Not much else to say. Disappointed by the result, but there are a lot of positives to take. And once you can get positives, then you get enough. But anyways, apologies for the technical difficulties. This production was, as in, give them your talk, no man. Cause me talk out. But you there say something about Russia, you hear
What
me?
me that say?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
there
man.
you there address the Tariq McGee situation as though me did I say Tariq McGee was a bum. Whenever they say Tariq McGee was a bum, I just I
No,
said
but
Tariq McGee is a 20-minute player that that cannot play when him scouted for. That's all me I say.
well, sure. But if we don't have a Bobby Reed, right? And we're also playing a midfield with Isaac Hayden and Latibo there, who I feel like had a decent game in the America game, to be fair. Um, then you have to go Tariq Magee from the start. Where are you going to get the creativity from?
But we see them got Tariq
And that
McGee from the start and them still never getting the creativity from him. The creativity end up come from
actually,
Isaac.
actually,
The creativity come from Cephas. We never get none from Tariq.
actually, you know, me see it a little bit different from most people. I've been a watch so much reaction and thing, and I feel like we get it wrong. In that because Tariq Magee come off at the half, meaning he was having a stinker. I don't think Tariq Magee was having a stinker. I believe the reason he came off is because one, we were 3-0 down, and two, America had all of the ball, bro. They had 70% possession.
Yeah,
What are you doing with Tariq Magee on the field with the other team having 70% possession? He's not going to give you anything because off the ball, you're playing with 10 men. And I feel like essentially that is what let him down. When Tariq Magee was on the ball, bro, he was looking to go forward. Yes, his touch let him down a lot of the times. But he was looking to play the ball forward. It's not like him never did I get the space because him did I get the space, him just never do not with the space because he might try to make the pass it off or him try to control the ball and it bubble up. Them little thing there. But I feel like he was finding space on the pitch and trying to show intention. Off the ball, the third goal at Tariq Magee fault. Christian Pulisic was literally on top of the box. Tariq Magee run towards the ball. Instead of go mark Pulisic, watch it back. So I feel like say because you were 3-0 down and knowing that you have Tariq Magee on the pitch, now go give you nothing off the ball. When you already do have the ball, is the reason why I'm pulled the plug. Obviously, I'm not going to say Tariq Magee is the answer to the questions that we have because we already know that we've been down this road. But you're right in saying that Tariq Magee is that player off the bench that when him come on with the extra space we are going in the middle of the park,
yeah.
him can take advantage of that and that is the role that we need to see Tariq Magee in. Obviously, people overreacted about the last game
That's what I'm.
because there was people overreact for sure. People overreact for sure, and of course there was much to be desired in terms of the first half. So when Tariq Magee come on now and nothing ever did I get created like that, and Tariq Magee come and make 2 3 passes and fake one man and open up some space and try play to see if us and overhit her, it gonna look special. It gonna look like wow, refreshing. And I feel like that is what people is overreacting to. But it's not like Tariq Magee come on and come past the game. He came on and he did well. He had good touches and him seek to create a few chances and show intention. I feel like good on him, bro. Good on him. We need creative players in the team, but let's not fool ourselves. This number 10 spot is not Tariq Magee's. We know that already. It's just about where does Tariq Magee fit in the team, if he fits in the team, and does he look like a player that we can keep around. And the other one now, Richard King. And may I try, as somebody as you know, may try to not overreact too much, right? And my perspective with Richard King is defensively and as a player. By the way, use the end template for make me the smaller, for make me very small. Cause I'm not turn on my camera. Cause I'm not make this embarrass me again. You know them ready?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Me work with that, isn't me? Richard King, bro. Me not gonna use the last game for judge Richard King as a player. Because one, it would be unfair in either direction. They get me, I say Richard King came on and we conceded. Don't get you see me, so I'm not gonna judge him defending. We were not trying to defend the game. We were not trying to do. We never try to keep a defensive shape. So as a defender, you can't judge him on that. What I'm going to judge him on is how he looked when he had the ball. And yes, it was just for one half of football in over a year. So obviously the sample size is very small. But what I am going to say is I am impressed with what Richard King did in the game against America, the second game, because I think we watched 2 JPL games for Richard King now. And even over the years in the JPL. Bro, you see exactly how him look? How him a Cruyff turn or how him a use the outside hand foot or how him just a punch the ball into midfield and a punch it out to the line on point and that's exactly how I'm looking at the Premier League. Richard King is the best defender in the Premier League, the best
I go
ball playing defender in the Premier League.
Richard King is the best player in the JPL.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
You
Richard
understand?
King is the best player in the
He,
JPL, not just the best defender.
there we go. Now, what impressed me about Richard King's game yesterday, bro, is not oh I'm doing it for 20 minutes. I'm doing it. That's not what impressed me. What impressed me is the same level of comfort to him showing at the JPL is literally the same level of comfort him showing he's playing in Missouri against America, bro. And that is why me I say, hold on, then this is just what you do. Which is why when we that talk and when we that text about the game, I never say Richard King is at the better player or he's the best player or whatever. What
Yeah.
happened is that Richard King looks like he belong. We can tell you that much. Richard King also looks very comfortable on the ball, just like anybody else who have around there. Richard King never look out of place. And if him can translate that level of composure and comfort on the ball from the JPL to the Jamaica team, I can be impressed with that. Obviously, more and see more, right? I'm not go over here and say, oh, I'm the best ball playing defender we have. But I think there's a conversation to be had. But before I go there and actually bring it from the channel and make up the conversation, I have to see more in the national team. I have who else did it talk about now? Make
Tavon
up make a reason.
Tavon Gray.
Bro, if me I be honest, I don't want to speak about Tavon Gray.
I missed
It
me
is going
talk.
to piss me off. I can't tell
Yeah,
it that much.
just I don't know.
Bro,
Me-
me not understand, bro. Me not understand. Before the game, with a text, with it no, with them on a call before the game. And
yeah,
me I say, bro, apparently Tavon Gray are the man in the dark. You see, like apparently Tavon Gray is the next coming of Alva Spoil, you know them way there? Apparently
yeah.
Tavon Gray about the wing and I get in crosses and I get assists and I look really good in the MLS. Why we can't see even half of that in the national team? Tavon Gray put in one screen yesterday. Just one.
Well,
Tavon Gray overlap one time.
Isaac, Isaac Hayden had more squares than Tavon Gray. No, that much. No, that fair fact. The point could be made that all right, him there play against Robinson, so it would have been hard to say get forward. But then defensively, then find him a right back. Bro, the goal where Andre Blake made the bad pass and so what kind of indecisiveness that him going with? Yeah, you know the goal when I talk about we can see if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the third goal. Where Blakey make a bad pass, but him did look so
Big
indecisive
man thing.
the ball did that. And me I say, yo, where we at do Tavan? Just look like
You know, say big man thing, me I go blame Andre Blake for the goal there.
as me say, bro,
Andre Blake, me I go blame for the goal there now. What?
Blake could do better still, but Tavan Gray have to do better as well.
Of course, Tavon Gray for the better. The ball literally drop in front time.
You get me as
The
and
ball drop
him
in front
so
time. Just put your
indecisive.
foot and kick away ball.
Literally, or you get a yellow card. But it have to be something.
Mm-hmm.
You say you have to go right
Yeah,
through.
and then,
Like you need afraid to get piled, bro. In
and
my opinion.
of course, and then watch it back. Damian Lowe, that was atrocious
They
defending.
don't ream him out still.
Yeah, but also Damian Lowe run to the ball when there's literally a man beside him. Recover, recover. When Damian Lowe try for do just lunge at the ball and then him get beaten goal. From there, so you can't help it again.
Yeah.
But me now go try nitpick and whatever. Andre Blake don't make that pass right there.
Bro,
In fact, I see a couple of people that
Andre
say
Blake, Andre Blake wasn't good yesterday.
no.
He was
It's
not.
one of the worst games I see Andre Blake play
Yeah,
for Jamaica in a
yeah,
while.
yeah.
I can't tell it that much. I don't see Andre Blake that bad in a while, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the second goal, him get a hand to that goal away attack, but him get a hand to it, you know.
Yeah.
And another day, Andre Blake can push that around the post, bro.
Oh, yeah. And
You
the
get me?
one
I say, so,
where score a good finish, but I feel say on a better day, Andre
that
Blake.
ranted goal and still.
Yeah. Think on a better day, Andre Blake probably has
Why? Yeah, maybe one thing though. Also think about in terms of Jamaican style of play from. The only time the best we look in the last 5 years. Me I gotta go 5 years
Mm-hmm.
since we had the YouTube. So four.
Yeah.
The best we look, bro, is with Jamaica playing in a game where we have nothing to play for
Yeah.
and chasing the game. That are the best we look in the last 4 years. When we commit numbers forward, we get the ball to wingers and allow them to take on people. We get the ball in the box as fast as possible. We make it chaotic. That are the best Jamaica look. Think about it. Whenever we go KJ and try to play football and act like we're this mercurial team with all this great talented midfield and try to pass the ball and make ask Latibo there for turn up, it is not good. But make we don't 3-love and have to chase a game. And we are commit numbers forward. All of a sudden we are create 2, 3, 4 chances from the bounce.
You
It
look
happen.
good. And it's supposed to look that way because we're supposed to be the fastest people in the world, right?
Bro, I saw if a player, bro. How much team we are gonna go all out attack and them are gonna outscore. Tell me that one. Tell me that. It only gonna be Mexico, Canada, and America, you know? And we're in the game with most of them.
Dare I say America?
Only America.
Yeah.
If we go all out attack,
I feel that Jamaica comparable to every team in a CONCACAF except America in terms of players, in my opinion. Well, Canada have like 3 really like world class players, but besides that, Canada has one bully for MLS baller, bro.
that's a
You get
true
me?
statement.
Not to mention this Mexican team. But then, bro, the people that beat Jamaica, bro, when me see this American Rasta, bro, me I say, yo, Jaja, Jaja. See this
Bro,
American.
the American Rasta ridiculous.
Oh,
The American Rasta is ridiculous.
and also, yesterday was the best I've seen America play. So
Oh, in a
Pochettino
while, for
made
sure.
a difference.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And me that what oh, me not remember. But me see like them and say, yo, this is the first time America beat Jamaica by 2 goals in like over 20 odd years or some shit like that.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. That's just my. I think about it a little bit more. I gotta think about it a little bit more. I'm probably gonna be a bit more confident with it next time I talk about it. But bro, Jamaica, we have to change the style of play now. From it have to be high press, all out attack, that type of football.
And
We
bro,
cannot keep the ball,
dare I say we have the central defenders for do it too? Like,
bro.
we
We have
have
fast recovery defenders. That's how we
and,
specialize in.
and defenders who willingly push forward into the field and try to make forward passes. Both Ethan
Exactly.
Pinnock and Damien Lowe are 2 central defenders who willingly overlap, invert, underlap, drive through the field with the dribble. And I think they're decent, if not competent passers, both of them. And because that's what Richard King come on and do, essentially. You get me, I say? And that did help we move forward. Because it started from the centre back. And Dishane Bernard is also very good at that too. So me not disagree with any at all. Disagree with any at all. What do you think about the migrate through the middle? All right, people. It look like we get a little bit out of rush while ago, but it look like it gone. So with that, I'm gonna wrap up real quick, people. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We're gonna definitely try to have a live phone, if not Friday. Hopefully sooner than that, people. But thank you for everybody who did there watch. I enjoy the discussion. Once again, apologies for the technical difficulties. And yeah, we make it up back to now very, 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 very soon, people.